Okay.
Resume.
All right. So like I was saying, this shows the topography and proposed street grades and shows the detention basin here in a private open space track here up to the north. This is Green Hills Road up here. This is the southern portion of the development. There's a small detention basin here as well. That was part of their stormwater study and detention plan that has been reviewed and approved by the county engineer. Now mine froze up. That's perfect.
Technology. Great stuff.
No, it's not. I already did that. Oh.
It was not alive when you came back.
There we go.
Oh, there.
There. This was the final page of the preliminary plat. It shows the more stormwater stuff. Okay, again, these are the entities that reviewed, and we also sent them to the cities that adjoined for comment. We also sent a copy of the plat to these entities to provide any comments they may have. They were Park Rail Special Road District, Sewer District, Platte County Regional Sewer District, Missouri American Water Company, Southern Platte Fire Protection District, the Park Hill School District, and the cities of Riverside, Kansas City, and Parkville that received any comments. Streets, it will currently be accessed. It will be accessed by a stub out of Northwest 47th Terrace. And that internal street network will consist of the construction of the remainder of that cul-de-sac and the Isabella Court cul-de-sac. These would be 20-foot wide local streets, curb back with an asphalt surface. They would be in the jurisdiction of the Park Rail Special Road District, maintained by them. They did sign that plat. They were also given an opportunity to comment. They did not provide any comments. The streets do meet the requirements of our existing infrastructure standards, and the construction plans have been reviewed and approved by the county engineer, and the road district is also reviewing it. Well, construction plans will be reviewed at a later date. Just a different slide. Sorry, but the road district did not have any comments. Property has 200 foot of frontage on the Green Hills Road, but it does not. This proposed phase does not have a connection to Green Hills Road. So topography makes that unsuitable. It's pretty steep through there, so they're using that area as kind of a detention basin instead. The existing access will be through the existing streets within the Montebella and Bella Ridge subdivisions. There was, based on our traffic impact study requirements, the 36 lots did not rise to the 100 vehicles during the peak hour to require a traffic study. Wastewater lots will be served by the sewer district. The developer will be extending sanitary sewer lines to and throughout the property. They were given an opportunity to review the plat and did not offer any comments. Water, same thing. They will be installing water lines through the property, and they offered no comments. As well as the fire district, same. They were given a copy of the plat for review and offered no comments to staff. And I sent it to the cities. Thought maybe the city of Riverside would have some comments since they have the adjoining jurisdiction of the neighborhood, and they did not. As I stated, they did do a drainage study. It was submitted and reviewed by the county engineer. It indicates the preliminary plat shows that 0.89 acre tract there on the southern portion of the phase, and almost 2 acres there on the north for detention. That drainage study has been reviewed and approved by the county engineer. These are the recommendation criteria as are listed in the staff report. The proposal meets these requirements. And staff recommends approval of the Montebella 7th plat, preliminary plat, with the following condition: that the county commission approves the request to rezone from ag to R7. I'm available for any questions you may have about this, either rezoning or preliminary plat.
Questions for staff for agenda item 3 or 4A? I have a question. What is the process for if Riverside wanted to annex that little section?
There are two types of annexations. There is voluntary annexation, where the developer goes to the city of Riverside and says, hey, I want my development to be part of yours, and he voluntarily does it, and they agree to take it, which is what happened with the original part of Montebella. And then the other one is an involuntary annexation, which requires a vote of the people.
The vote of the people of Riverside or the vote of the people of Montebella 7th plat?
Annexation, There's two steps to it. The first vote is the vote of the area of the annex and the vote of the city. If it passes in both, then it's done. If it fails in one, like say the area to be annexed, they don't want to be annexed, but then it fails, then there's another vote that the annex area plus the city, I think it has to pass by a 2/3 vote,
Two-thirds,
and
yeah.
then it can be involuntarily annexed.
Okay.
So, in this case, you have to reach out to Riverside and say, hey, do you guys have an interest in it? Talk to the property owner. It's just, it's up to them if they try to force it on.
Right.
They act like it's not something they want to pursue. I would advise doing it before they start selling lots.
Right.
Any other questions for staff? Would the applicant like to make a statement for 3A or 4A? Raise your right hand, we'll swear you in. Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Dustin Britton with RIC at 400. Sorry, East Section.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Go ahead, sir.
Like I said, Dustin Britton with RIC. I'm the engineer for the project. The applicant actually did here, so subbing in. I don't know if I've got anything to add to Jason. Jason's been very thorough, but we're meeting all the regulations of the county, but on top of that, we are adjacent to the Riverside as well, so we're meeting our regulations. Just in case something would happen in the future, it's gonna happen. There's no question on the interview there. But other than that, I haven't answered your question.
All right. Any questions for Justin? All right, thank you, sir. Any comments from the audience for agenda item 3A and 4A?
I have questions.
We'll swear you in. State your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Barnes, 4725 Northwest Greenfield Road.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, sir.
Annexation. There's nobody there now to say whether they would be annexed or not. Is this something that is preliminary, or does this happen after the houses are built and moved into?
I think it can be either or. I don't think that there's, I don't know
Would it
when.
be annexed without anybody there to say they want to be annexed?
Well, currently it's owned by the developer, and
Yes.
he would be the one that would be be annexed, and it would only, annexation would only apply to this property if he.
Right, I understand that.
Yeah.
But he has the power himself.
Yeah.
To get it annexed.
Yes.
Okay.
If Riverside
Riverside.
wants to annex, two parties, city and property.
Okay. I heard you say that the development will not be connected to Northwest Green Hills Road.
That's correct.
Correct.
Okay.
There's a detention pond there on the north side. I'm sure Jason's trying to get his stuff back up. I looked at that. I live in the area and intimately familiar with that, and that was,
So the detention pond is for runoff.
Yes.
correct.
The sewer system, that is connected to what is currently in Montebello.
Correct.
Is the proposal similar to what Montebello already is? Talk about high density, is that what exists there now?
Yes.
Is high
In our
density?
setting.
So this is no change on that. Water and sewer will be provided by the existing
Through
water
Montebello.
and sewer in Montebello.
Correct.
Okay.
Answer all your questions.
I think those are questions that,
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I would add, I think we kind of look at, it connecting to Green Hills Road. But that road was never like designed to be a through road.
Exactly, that would have been
I
my,
think it's best not connected.
would have been my point. They already have a connection through there. is a small access that comes out of Green Hills Road.
And farm access, whatever.
And it looks like there's a house very close to that. And since it's not going out, I question that, it doesn't pertain, the address on that is 4999. It looks like that house has been sold or perhaps moved out of. I didn't know if that was part of this.
I don't know. I did talk to that owner. He was concerned about stormwater, and that's why we did some extra study on that, well, in that area. No, we're not using that access. The developer, the landowner's not using that access to access this property.
Okay, so there will not be an increase runoff into that unnamed creek that is there?
Anytime you add driveway to the rooftop, will be an increase in runoff. They are doing detention and submitted a preliminary drainage study to ensure that they're retaining the water that they're generating. So that's where the runoff exists.
The extra that they're making then is supposed to be taken care of by that retention.
That's absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Hello.
Pretty good.
Good. State your name and address. State your name and address for the record, please.
Katie Franklin, 4529 Santa Riverside.
I'm still the truth and nothing but the truth. Go ahead, Katie.
And I have a little bit of a prepared statement, but Michael, you live in the area, so you're probably familiar with, you know, the great thing about where we live is you live close to the city. I can see downtown from my backyard, but I regularly have deer and turkey and all of the animals right outside my house. Right. So kind of keep that in mind too, look, as you make this decision, because that's what makes our neighborhood so great as well. So I've lived in the Montebello community for about 12 years now. So tonight I'm here to ask that you actually vote against approving these additional homes for a couple of reasons. My opinion is the Barths should not be given any additional opportunity to sell any more lots until they've properly taken care of their residents and the current community. So I know this gentleman, and I think Jason mentioned, the boxes have been checked, right? They meet the requirements. But like every decision, there's more to it than just that. And that's kind of what I've hoped to bring tonight. I understand we're not here to debate the HOA. I think everybody lives in an HOA has their own opinions. I'm not looking to do that. But what I'm looking to do is to shed a little bit of light into what we deal with. And hopefully you can make a decision that hopefully would protect and make the right decision for future Platte County residents. So I have a couple concerns. My first concern is maintaining the community. So our waterfall, if you've driven by our neighborhood, is literally crumbling. It is falling apart. It is not only an eyesore, but it's a huge liability to our community and our HOA. I regularly see kids skateboarding in it, and so I'm just waiting for somebody to get injured. In addition to that, there's a constant leak in the waterfall that results in outrageous water bills and repair bills. For this year alone, our HOA was billed $5,600 for fountain maintenance, $7,500 for grounds and fountain maintenance. Not sure what the difference is there. $33,000 for groundwater. So that's over $46,000 in 1 year for a fountain that's falling apart. So adding these 36 additional homes will put a strain on an already strained community. Our current amenities are not adequate for the size of our community today. You add these additional 36 homes, it's just going to continue to cause challenges there. Not only that, but it's going to raise the cost of maintaining this community that already isn't maintained and caring for all of the things that we mentioned here tonight. In addition to that, there is no accountability with the Barths. When we moved in 2013, our HOA was $795. This year it's $1,045. We had no explanation as to why it increased or any warning that it was going to increase. I understand costs go up, right? I'm not, naive to that. The insurance costs alone probably went up, but I think a common courtesy is to explain to people why that's happening. Additionally, when we moved in, there was a cap at $1,000 for the HOA. We're well past that. Not quite sure where. Not sure where the new cap is. So again, I understand we're not here to weigh in on these HOA grievances that probably several of us here have, but ultimately what I'm asking you to do is to take a holistic view of what you're looking to approve tonight and take a stand to hopefully protect future residents. I appreciate your time and I hope you take it into consideration.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the audience? Come on up, sir. Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Bill Sun, 4542 Northwest Road Drive, Riverside.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yep.
Go ahead, Phil.
The only thing, actually, I kind of have a question. When they were talking about the HOA, they're adding now 36 more homes into our HOA that weren't even on any of the flats before. Okay, so the developer, at some point in time, the developer, they keep, as long as you have enough homes, they still have control over the HOA. So they just in perpetuity just keep this thing going, right? So we don't really have any say in what happens. And so they could build another one after that and still have the whole developer controlling the whole HOA costs and all the expenditures and everything that goes out. At some point in time, when do you stop and say this HOA is done? Because you're just adding on to it. This wasn't when we signed in. There wasn't, you had what was originally the flats that they laid out. Now you're adding more. It just coming to HOA. Isn't that something that, does the developer get to just do that forever? Is that part of the process? They could go all the way down the road, and keep adding on to the HOA, right?
Yeah, HOAs are private agreements. And I don't know the nature of Montebello's HOA agreements. It is common that the developer, everyone I've ever seen, they do maintain voting control, pretty much begin.
Right, but now the end was already set up, but now you guys are extending it, right?
We're not.
Well, yeah, you are. When you voted in, you are. So yeah, you are.
If the intent is to add this into the phase, into the Montebello and the covenants, restrictions as written, allow that, yeah, that will happen. They'll have private agreements, the county's not party to.
Any other comments from the audience? Come on up front. State your name and address for the record, please.
Keith Gilliland, 5550 Northwest Black Road, Side Missouri, 150.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? Go ahead, sir.
Question concerning this picture here. I don't know how old it is, but it looks that the development is not complete. They're in the northwest corner, I guess. Will that part of the development be completed before the other 15 acres?
That other portion actually is complete.
Is it now this?
Yeah.
picture?
Well, not complete.
Not complete.
There's
I
homes.
was gonna ask if all the
80%.
studies done took into account that part being fully completed and then the other 15 acres on top of it, or what are we looking at here?
Yes. Okay. Yes. That's as simple as, yeah, yes. Thank you. Yep.
Montebello, when it was originally proposed in the county. County did all the original engineering studies, traffic studies, drainage studies, then annexed by Riverside, in charge of all the phases.
So far.
Yeah, that was a master plan or overarching formula study included entire.
Correct.
On it. Swear you in. State your name and address for the record, please.
Blake Owens, 5122 Northwest Montebello Drive.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? Go ahead, Blake.
I'll keep it short and sweet. So my wife and I just moved into Montebello last year. We're in that third phase right now. That area that we were talking about on the northwest side is now in progress being developed. We bought our lot for 20 grand more than an interior lot with the anticipation that we had an exterior lot in the neighborhood. And I know it's small, but hey, 20 grand more for a lot that's now gonna have homes behind it. It kind of sucks. So just trying to say that.
Thank you, Blake. Come on up to the. Come on up, man. Name and address for the record, please.
Trevino, 5550 Northwest Flat Road.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead, Patricia.
Okay, to kind of piggyback off a couple of people that already spoke, I agree with their concerns. One, the nature and wildlife that is in the area. My husband and I had just recently purchased our home in July, which is, we are third generation homeowners to that home now. So over the years, we have seen, in my 25 years being here and involved with his family, we have seen great changes there in Riverside, as you all very well know, across the street from that industrial park. Now, and I know that there have been some concern of additions, and we're in that kind of boat also where we're at on Flatwood. You know, I have a concern of today and maybe later that Flat Road, something will happen in there, or there may be an addition. In fact, it's a concern right now, which it seems that it's not, but it is a concern with the wildlife. A little bit of wildlife and probably noise that is eventually going to happen. What is from here on out? They're starting to build where this gentleman actually thought he was going to get a big backyard and some peace and quiet back there, which is our hope, living in the country, being in the city. That's what we have right now. We'd like to keep that. That's what we
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the audience? Justin, do you have anything further to add?
Just in the sense that, you know, some complaints on the HOA. My client actually doesn't own the HOA. I mean, obviously he's a voting member, but the actual control over the HOA is a different entity from the bar. So their influence is not quite as heavy as what it might be used to that, since it's been delivered through home sales. That's really all I got that.
Thank you. The floor is closed and we'll open for discussion amongst the board. No discussion?
Can you pull up did we have a copy of the land use plan for county in that area?
I can. And I will.
I know you went over it.
There it is.
What
Yellow
does
is
the yellow say?
single family residential.
Okay,
So,
so it's always been, it's been planned.
yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
How many phases are there in Bella Ridge?
Bella Ridge currently has 4. There may be one more coming in Bella Ridge. Oh, it's done? Okay, it's done. Bella Ridge is done. And they've been recorded. So 3rd and 4th.
Someone has a question.
Floor is closed.
Okay.
Well, if there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion for agenda item 3A, and there were no conditions on that one, correct?
Correct. On all 3 days.
That's just,
That's just 3 done.
Entertain,
I move to approve, agenda item 3A, request to rezone.
Second.
all in favor of rezoning, raise your right hand. Passes unanimously. And agenda item 4A, motion for the preliminary plat.
Becky will make a motion to approve 4A
With conditions.
with conditions, yeah.
Second. I'll second. Chris seconds. All in favor of the preliminary plat, raise your right hand. All opposed? Moving on to agenda item
5A.
5A.
Get there, sir. Agenda item 5A is the final plat request submitted by Adam Tholen for 70.27 acres located at 12677 Northwest Highway 45. Adam is seeking approval of the final plat of Copper Hill Reserve, which was formerly called Hidden Hollow Estates. It was approved back in March of this year. That final plat proposes to subdivide the 70 acres into 17 lots for single family development. These lots would range in size from 2 acres to 9.15 acres. The property is currently zoned R80, rural single family. Get your bearings. We are here still in the southern portion of Platte County, but we're a little bit west of where we were before. This is Highway 45. Highway K runs to the north. This is the property outlined here in yellow, runs back to the south. This is a close-up view of the property. This was the preliminary plat that was approved back in March. On the 17 lots, internal street network. This is the final plat that was submitted, included in your staff reports. These are the entities that have reviewed the request, signed the application, or given a copy of the plat for comment. And they are the Platte County Health Department, Parkville Special Road District, Missouri Department of Transportation, Public Water Supply District number 1, Southern Platte Fire Protection District, and the Parkville School District, as well as the cities of Parkville, Kansas City, and Weatherby Lake. Access to the property will be off of Highway 45 via the construction of Copper Hill Lane. This will be a ride-in, ride-out only access. MoDOT controls 45 highway. They did sign the application and didn't offer. They were provided a copy of the plat for review and stated after reviewing the final plat for the proposed Copper Hill Reserve subdivision, MoDOT has no objections to the subdivision. Streets, the first approximately 400 foot of Copper Hill Lane will be constructed 30-foot wide curb back, consisting of 8 inches of asphalt with 2-foot lazy back curbs, transitioning to a 24-foot asphalt surface with 2-foot flat ribbon curbs and roadside ditches to handle runoff. Currently, that property is sharing an access with that Living Water Christian Church on Highway 45. The developer and the church did enter into a separate agreement where the developer will construct them an access on the Copper Hill Lane. So it'll eliminate 2 accesses on 45 and just provide one ride-in route only for both the subdivision and that church. So that's a safety improvement that the church and the road and the developer agreed to. The rest of the internal streets will consist of the remainder of Copper Hill Lane and Sierra Bella Court and Copper Hill Court cul-de-sacs. They will be constructed 24-foot asphalt surface with 2-foot ribbon curbs and roadside ditches to handle the runoff. The streets are within the subdivision will be maintained by the Parkville Special Road District. They did sign the preliminary or final plat indicating their ability to provide service. They were provided a copy of the subdivision plat for review. They didn't offer any comments. The construction plans have been reviewed and approved by the county engineer, and the road district did provide a approval of the construction plans with conditions the applicant must meet prior to construction. The plans themselves were fine, but they want to do compaction tests, be present for compaction tests when the road is actually installed later after. It's too cold to do it now, but the road district will be involved with that. The drainage study was reviewed and approved by the county engineer. Wastewater, these lots will be serviced by on-site septic systems, on-site wastewater treatment system. The health department was provided a letter and stated the following: Platte County Health Department is not opposed to the major subdivision of Copper Hill Reserve as approved by the Department of Natural Resources. Please note item number 7 under the boundary survey notes on the plat. Lot 17 is not to be built upon until it meets the DNR requirement of 3 acres for an on-site wastewater treatment system. We're ready to build on each individual lot. A sewage permit for that lot must be obtained from the Platte County Health Department prior to the start of construction. So the very first lot when you come in the subdivision is only 2 acres. And when this plat was originally developed, that lot was going to be an open space, but then DNR required a minimum of 3 acres for a septic system on these lots. That lot doesn't make that. So the developer is exploring options to acquire additional land from an adjoining property owner, possibly to add to that lot to make it at least 3 acres. That lot will not be built on if it's not at least 3 acres. So it's possible he may end up coming back at some point to rezone that. So we'll have current zoning to any land he can acquire from a neighbor. But I believe he's in the process of trying to work that out with the neighbor. But for now, lot 17 is shown on there, cannot be built upon until it is at least 3 acres in size. And that is a condition that's shown on the final plat. So that is how that will be enforced. These are the recommendation criteria. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision regulations. It does substantially to conform to the approved preliminary plat, and all the applicable entities have reviewed the subdivision. Staff recommends approval of the final plat of Copper Hill Reserve with the following conditions. They are our standard final plat conditions in accordance with Article 2, Section 405 110, subsection C15D. For subdivision regulations, the developer must substantially complete all public improvements before being allowed to record the final plat. Need to release right-of-way acquisitions recorded with the final plat, and any covenants and restrictions are reviewed by staff and county counselor. Available for any questions you may have.
Comments for staff? So Jason, I remember when this preliminary plat came up, there was an individual here from California that was worried about trees. Are trees on the final plat or any type of landscaping stuff?
He didn't have to submit a landscaping plan. I believe it is his plan to put trees along the lane like growing up. I mean, that was just a private driveway going back to that farm, and it had trees all along it. Developer is here. He can tell you what his plans are. I do believe that were his plans to still plant trees along there. Looks like he's gonna answer that.
Where you in? If you could, please state your name and address for the record.
Adam Boland, 7712 Northwest Scenic Drive, Woodley Lake. 3641 back there.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right. Got an answer for my
As far as the
question.
trees, we took out the minimal amount of trees for the road, and the road is rough cut now. And then we are doing a treescape along the side of the road. We're waiting on, they're gonna roughly be spaced 50 feet apart, and it's like 200 trees. So we're going back and forth on everybody's got an opinion now. So like 15 of the lots are reserved. So everybody wants a special tree. So we're trying to work out. It will be some kind of maple or oak or something.
All right. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about.
All right. Any other questions for him? All right. Thanks, sir.
All right, thanks.
Any other questions for staff?
Jason, did I miss the condition about lot 17?
It's in the final. Yeah.
No, it's on the plat itself, and so it doesn't need necessarily to be a condition on.
Right on the highway there, right now.
In
It doesn't have to be in the condition? Okay.
It's a note on the plat. He's bound.
So they're actively trying to pursue west of lot 17 to add to that an acre or something? And then it'd have to be rezoned before?
Yeah. And then they do a minor subdivision replat to add it to that lot. Actually adding it to the lot wouldn't come back before you.
Out of the,
But
out of the
zoning.
3 acres, so you said something about a retention pond. It's gotta be.
Oh,
3.
no, for a septic system. That's what I meant. Yeah,
Okay.
it has to be at least 3 acres to have a septic
So
system.
that's okay.
Yes, that was a requirement of the DNR.
Is lot 16 truly a house?
In the middle of lot 16 is in the middle of that. In the middle,
Maybe split the castle and motor.
maybe. Yeah, lot 16 is in the middle of that, street, the circle. Yeah. There is an existing house there are a few existing houses on the proposed road already. There are at least 2 on the, east side and there's 1 on the west. Yeah.
Any other questions for staff? We'll entertain a motion for agenda item 5A.
Then I would like to make a motion to approve agenda item 5A with conditions.
Second.
Erica seconds. All in favor of agenda item 5A, raise your right hand. Item passes unanimously.
And 6 is approval of minutes.
Mr. Chair, I have reviewed the minutes in a turkey order. I move to approve.
I will second those minutes.
All right, Becky seconds. All in favor of approval of the minutes, raise your right hand. Minutes approved unanimously.
Jason,
Yeah.
would you like to address the board about Mr. Young?
Yeah, other business and staff report, other business and, first off, we don't have a meeting in January because we didn't have the application submitted by the deadline.
Well, how are we gonna,
We'll elect officers in February. Don't worry. It'll happen.
I sent you
And then, the other thing is he's not here, and Aaron Jung is not on the board anymore. He is stepped off. His term was up. He is serving the county in other ways. He's on the library board now. So we have a vacancy in the Carroll Township. I like
Where
it.
is-
Aaron did a great job, and I thank you for his service. And maybe he'll watch it online. I don't know. But, yeah.
So where is Carroll Township?
Carroll Township is kind of here in the middle of the county. It like goes down to Seven Bridges
Yeah.
area and then all the way actually over to the Smithville county line. It's a big area. So, we need somebody. We still need somebody for Sioux Township, which is down around South Oaks.
Okay.
South 45 highway down there. But other than that, I've got nothing. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Christmas, guys. Thank you.
And we thank you for your service.
Do we get, January's check tonight?
Takes an act of Congress to get those approved, so I'll put them in the mail if you want me to.
I'm counting on that.
Well, don't spend it all in one place.
All right. Anyone want to make a motion for adjournment?
I was.
Chris, motions. Jeff seconds. All in favor of adjournment? Meeting adjourned. I guess that's.